Hi students, this is a question from Circular Motion chapter from JEE Main 2020. A bead of mass m stays at point P A, B on a wire bent in the shape of a parabola y is equal to 4c x square and rotating with angular speed omega. The value of omega is. So, what is a bead? First of all, let's try to understand. Basically, a bead is a tiny spherical ball, you can say, very tiny, and it has a hole inside. And inside this hole, we can see that a metal wire is passed through this hole so that this bead can easily slide on the wire. Okay, so that is called the bead. So in this question, we are having a bead which can slide easily on this parabolic wire. If you put the bead on the wire as it is, it will immediately slide down and come down here. But here the question says that this parabola is rotating. The whole parabola wire is given an angular velocity omega. So what happened that due to this rotation, this particle, the bead, will experience an outward centrifugal force. Why centrifugal force like this? Because the particle is going to move in a circle. Centrifugal. Okay, how it is centrifugal? Because when the parabola will rotate, then this particle is going to move along this circular path, a horizontal circle, whose center is located here. Let us say C is the center of that circle. So this particle will rotate anti-clockwise along this circular path, horizontal circular path, like this. Radius of the circle, this is the radius of the circle, R. Okay. Now, so the centrifugal force, we can write down here that the centrifugal force acting on the particle is equal to, the formula m omega square r is the formula for centrifugal force, where r is the radius. Now it's given the question that the particle is located at the coordinates a, b. So now what is the meaning of a, b? That along x direction its x coordinate is equal to a, and x coordinate means the distance of the particle along x direction is equal to a from the origin. Ultimately, which is the radius also. The radius of the circle is equal to a. And y coordinate is b. That means the height of the particle from the origin along y axis. That height is y is equal to b. So due to rotation of parabola, this entire parabolic wire is rotating about y axis, because of which this particle is also rotating along a circle of radius r, due to which it experiences an outward centrifugal force. Also, particle experiences a gravitational force mg vertically downwards, and normal reaction. It experiences a normal reaction, that is, normal means perpendicular, so the direction of normal reaction on the wire of the particle due to wire will be along the perpendicular direction of this wire. Okay, so this wire has a curve and this is the perpendicular direction. Okay, so how to solve this question is like this. We will first of all create the components of this normal reaction. Let's make the vertical and horizontal components, and now we require the angle theta, so that we can say n cos theta and n sin theta as components. So how to create the component? We should select one angle theta. So let me assume that angle made by this normal reaction with the vertical is equal to theta. Now you may ask why I am taking with vertical, why not horizontal? So it doesn't matter, but there is a good reason why I taken from the vertical. It will be clear very soon. So firstly, components will become n cos theta and n sin theta. I must remind you that whenever we resolve a vector into components, the component which makes the angle theta with the vector is cosine component, and the one which makes 90 minus theta angle, that is the sine component. So this one is n sin theta. Okay, so horizontal component is n sin theta, vertical component n cos theta. Now the particle is under equilibrium condition. If you observe it from the frame of reference of the wire, rotating wire, That means imagine that there is an observer is sitting on the parabola, and along with the parabola he is also rotating with angular velocity omega. Then the bead will appear to be at rest condition for him. So we can say for equilibrium along the horizontal direction, the centrifugal force basically n sine theta equal to the centrifugal, and n cos theta, as you can see, vertical direction, and upward force n cos theta should balance the downward force ng. So we have got equation 1 and 2. What to do with these equations? Divide both the equations with each other. If you divide, means if you write down like this, n sine theta divided by n cos theta is equal to Fc by mg. So centrifugal force is m omega square r. Here you see m omega square r. Divide by mg. M cancels, and this side normal reaction cancels. Now sin theta by cos theta is equal to tan theta. So we are getting tan theta is equal to omega square r by g. Now we have to think about this tan theta. How is this tan theta associated with this parabola, and why this equation of parabola given the question, for what purpose? So here is the concept. Slope of any curve is equal to dy by dx. From calculus we know that if any curve y as a function of x is given, so a curve y as a function of x is given, then its slope is dy by dx. Also one more thing regarding the curve, I should tell you that let us say there is a curve, and at this point if you draw a tangent, to the curve at a given point, then this tangent makes angle theta with respect to that curve, then the slope is also equal to tan theta. So that is what the main concept of this question is, that this tan theta over here is nothing but equal to dy by dx. So that means if you go back to our diagram once again, let me explain. So in the diagram, if you draw a tangent like this, which is touching the parabola at that point, and let us say that tangent makes an angle theta with respect to the x-axis, then for this tangent, the slope of this tangent will be equal to tan theta, and the tan theta is also equal to dy by dx. This is the concept of calculus. So in place of tan theta, I write dy by dx equal to omega square r by g. Next, how to find out dy by dx? It is given the question that y is equal to 4c x square. So let's write down. Equation is given y is equal to 4c x square. Differentiate this with respect to x. dy by dx is equal to 4 is constant, c is constant. Differentiate x square, that is 2x. So we get dy by dx equal to 8cx is equal to omega square r. Now once again, if I go into the diagram, I find that the radius r is nothing but equal to a and also x coordinate actually itself. Okay, x coordinate. So I can actually write down here in place of r, I can say x, so that x will get cancelled from both sides. Once again, we should see in the diagram that the x coordinate itself is equal to the radius of the circle. The radius of circle a is also the x coordinate a. So therefore I can, and then after that we cancel x from both sides, and after cancelling x from both sides we get omega square is equal to 8cg. Taking square root on both sides, omega is equal to square root of 8cg, which becomes 2 root 2 times of c into g. So option 1 is the answer for this question.